also in the ACC from Florida State. But with Hannah out, we get to see Maddy Westbeld make her first start of the year as she's in her 4th game back, coming back from a foot injury. And we are underway. Notre Dame wearing the white jerseys trimmed in gold. Georgia Tech, very similar school colors here. Georgia Tech wearing the dark blue. Sonia Citron, part of that 3-guard lineup that is amazing when Notre Dame is at full strength. And for Georgia Tech, number 1, Chit Chat Wright gets the start. Part of a really good freshman class. King gets the rebound. And now Sonia Citron, talk about versatility in her game, right? There's a 3-level scorer.
I mean, the X factor of this team, and somebody who can defend 1 through 5, who can score at will, just has incredible athleticism to her. We talked about it. Chit Chat Wright, number 1. Hey, welcome to guard you. Your very first start in college, and you come through Notre Dame's floor.
She did get a bit of a reprieve with Hannah Hidalgo out of the lineup, but still a challenge for the true freshman from Atlanta. King, who had a great 4th quarter as Notre Dame struggled a little bit in their last game against Clemson, the starting lineup. Carlin back from an injury in the starting lineup, and Maddy Westbeld, so good to see her back.
And you're going to see a lot of action with King, Westbeld, and Carlin today. One of the areas that Nell Ivy thought that they could really take advantage of was about at that 4 spot. She felt like the Irish, with their size and versatility, you see a lot of high-low action. And Georgia Tech, coming into this game, a little undersized.
Westbeld nails the 3. Maddy's minutes have been upped in all 3 of her games. Termes misses wide right, and this is what Nell Fortner, the head coach of Georgia Tech, was concerned about, getting off to a slow start at 7-0.
Exactly. And having your 4 or your 5 kind of beat you down the block to get into that fast break. You know, the Irish, they start off so hot. They outscore teams by 10 points just by the end of the first quarter. You see right now already a 7-0 lead.
Yeah, Notre Dame averaging 88 points per game. Carlin inside. A rebound taken down by Termes. And Georgia Tech is a team that Nell Fortner says they haven't been running any sets. This is what they do. They like to push pace, and whoever has the first best shot, she's like, shoot it. That is fine by her. Great help defense, right, by Carlin.
Yes, and Georgia Tech, the players, they understand spacing and pacing, rebounding. Great backdoor play with another great pass.
But then Morgan got her hand in to interrupt the shot. Ball off of Dunn. Notre Dame has it with 20 seconds to shoot. So we have Nell and Niel tonight. This is Nell Fortner, now in her 6th year with Georgia Tech, and trying to get her team back to the NCAA tournament. They did not make it last year or the year before, and has done such a terrific job as coach in the WNBA with the Fever, also the U.S. national team in the Olympics. Westbeld turnaround.
What a great touch. You see the approach she has to the game. She's a let the game come to me type of player, but if that shot is there, and you look at Notre Dame up and down the lineup, there is nobody you cannot scout for. Everybody can shoot, everybody can score, handle, and step out.
All right, we've seen Nell. Now here's Niel in her 5th year, the coach of the year a couple of years ago, and has already got 100 wins, got there even faster than Buffett McGraw.
Unbelievable, just the job that Nell Ivy has done, and one of the great notes that came out is that Nell Ivy is the common link to all 9 Final Fours. 2 as a player, 7 as an assistant, and hunting for 1 as a head coach now.
And Georgia Tech really struggling. 0 for 7 from the floor. They were 0 for 5 from 3 until that shot went down for Chit Chat Wright. Now her given name is Chazity, but everybody calls her Chit Chat. Her teammates call her Chat. So a nickname from the nickname.
And just make it simple, you know? Chat, hey, Chat, give me the ball.
Freshman from Atlanta.
Well, Georgia Tech's their game. They want to get between 70 and 80 field goal attempts, right? And so you look back, and Nell Fortner said, look, at the Louisville game, we're under 50. We're 48. That's not going to do it for us. So they want to keep the pace up. And as you mentioned, she told us today, we're literally just putting in sets this week. We've not run any this year. So for players to try to remember that and then execute it in a game like this, it's hard.
Yeah, especially on the road against Notre Dame. That's a good look look inside, but it just wouldn't go down for Morgan. So Georgia Tech with so many misses, and they're not getting a lot of offensive rebounds. Citron bottled up there by Dunn, but somehow found Prosper. What a play.
Great job in breaking the pressure. You just fake, you go back door, and you see the way Notre Dame's able to open up the floor. If you're Georgia Tech, yes, you want to play up the line, but you got to keep your head on a swivel.
Termes with another miss. She's now 0 for 3 from 3. Citron, silky smooth around the horn. And Miles, a little bit off balance. Prosper, who missed a lot of last year, most of it with an injury, got the board. Georgia Tech basketball, here's Wright. They're going to push pace all night, but Notre Dame can run with them. Nice pass back door, count it. Termes with the terrific assist to Dunn.
You know, just how Notre Dame broke pressure, you do the same on the other end. You go back door, overcommit, and then Westbeld doesn't turn with the ball, but she kind of exposes her body in the middle of the floor, and that gives you just the amount of time for that pass to get through to Dunn. It finishes with a nice reverse.
Kara Dunn, the junior from Dallas, Georgia. A lot of Georgia players on this team, and that is one of the things that Nell Fortner has always wanted to do since she came there. Gosh, you know, there's so much talent in the state of Georgia in women's basketball. She wants to keep them home.
You know, it's a connected group, and you can tell that, you know, being local and how much talent is in the Atlanta area, that, you know, trying to build the program and taking it to a height they haven't been before. He got as high as 13th ranked this season, right near that 2022, where they got to 11.
And Georgia Tech off to that 15-0 start, by far their best start ever. A heartbreaking double overtime loss to Virginia Tech, and as you mentioned, they lost at Louisville, another tough place to play.
Yeah, the Yum Center brings the fans, they bring the noise, and even at Media Day, Pam, all the players said that was one environment, just like here, where teams come in and they have a tough time to start.
I hear the football team has a big game coming up.
They
on
might,
Monday.
yeah. I heard about that.
Yep. And Nell Ivy is, and we talked to Coach McGraw about it too, all fired up about that game. Marcus Freeman doing such a great job.
Yes.
And Georgia Tech doing a really good job. Picked 10th in the ACC, Brooke, and they already had 15 wins.
Yeah, they really have come together as a team and been one of those surprise teams in the ACC. Rise to that top and hitting the gauntlet. You can just see how tough it is. They're trying to avoid 3 losses in a row after starting the season 15-0.
Inside now to Paval. Leah King. I mean, this is someone who I don't think gets enough love and attention.
Agreed. And Neil will tell you the exact same thing. Neil Ivy talks about how much she loves her as a player. Leah King plays bigger than her 6-foot frame. She brings the emotional intelligence to this team. And not only that, she's already got 5 boards tonight.
Right. Outside shot off. Here's Citron, one of the concerns. Talk about the offensive rebounding, because as Coach Fortner said, if we miss, Notre Dame is gone.
Absolutely.
They are running down the court.
Many a team have fallen victim to transition defense in this building.
King, who played 4 years at Pitt and actually had a career high against Notre Dame while with Pitt last season. Prosper with the basket. The junior from Montreal, who only played 5 games last year before she got hurt, has also diversified her game.
Yeah, exactly. And she came up big in their game against Clemson when they needed that spark and that life. And that's a player right there, Tonie Morgan, somebody to keep your eye on. 1,000-point career scorer for this team, made the all-freshman team in the ACC. And so somebody that's got to step up tonight. Her presence got to be big.
Morgan scored that 1,000th point against Virginia Tech when she had a career-high 28. That was a double overtime loss. Oh, there's a little flashy pass, but the finish not coming. Good delivery from Chit Chat Wright.
And those are the ones that have to fall, right?
Yep.
Those are the plays, the momentum plays, the electricity plays that your team has to have. You got to match that energy when you walk in this building. You know that it's going to be packed, near sellout every game. So those moments of losing the concentration last minute, and she knows Smith will get back in there and make up for it.
Miles bringing the ball up. Westbeld met by Blackshear, who is not happy with that whistle.
Look how patient Westbeld is. Hesitation dribble and then takes a direct route right to the bucket, meets the contact there, and that's what you just get a handle of her strength, her ability to hold on to the basketball, shoot through contact. I can only imagine when she's really, really back in shape toward the end of February into March, how much better and sharper she's going to be.
Yeah, Westbeld missed the first 16 games of the season. Her first game against North Carolina on January 5th. Eighth in history of this great program in rebounding.
Nell Ivy telling us it was a surprise she was out, at the end of August. So I'm thinking you're going to have her the whole season, and now you're just getting her back into those minutes. More reps now, and she's just about going full go in practice.
Drive and the basket, nicely done by Morgan. She's already got 6.
In her last 6 games, Pam, she's been coming through double figures. Assist to turnover ratio good, so the decision making is getting even sharper.
5th in the league in assist to turnover. Westbeld, the pass inside, but steps taken by Carlin.
The 5'9" junior Morgan, who has aspirations of playing professionally. This is a great game to bust out and make yourself known. You got to get into that paint and handle it. Did you see it? The strength is there. She can take the contact and stay up.
Morgan still has 1 more year of eligibility left. Laredo tried to get it inside. Taken away by Citron. Looks around. Tried to get the pass into Carlin.
Citron's gotten caught a couple of times jumping before the pass. So you can see her trying to make that decision when she's up in the air.
It's good to have a game plan when you go up in the air, right?
Yes.
Speaking of air, that's all that was on that shot for Termes, who is off to a slow start. 0 for 4 now, and there's Carlin, the Marquette grad transfer.
You see the way Olivia Miles was just able to slice her way right into there. I mean, it was like she knew what was going to happen as she was bringing the ball up the floor. Her vision is incredible.
He's thinking ahead, which is one of the marks of a great point guard. As Morgan got fouled. Prosper got her. That is the first for her.
Notre Dame's going to want to body up to her sooner, meet her probably at the 3-point line, or just kind of give her that space and try to force her to shoot over you.
Coming up next on the ACC Network, this is a really good and important game at Cameron Indoor Stadium as number 16 Duke takes on number 18 Cal. That follows us on the network and on the app. And Charlie Cream said today that if Cal wins, they could very well take a top 16 spot. In top 16, you get to host in the first and second round.
Yeah,
so a lot on the line there.
Very intriguing for teams at this point in time. You're kind of playing for that, to be able to have not only your name announced, but to be a hosting site. That's big.
Big advantage.
Yeah, I know Charlie had 10 teams the other day get into the tournament from the ACC. Not surprising, of course, but just competitive.
10 of the 18 teams. Citron misses off glass. 45 seconds left to go. Nice cut, but unable to hang on to the ball. Laredo. So Charlie Crean is our expert. He is very rarely wrong. And you see all the teams going in. Notre Dame, #3 overall in the country, now a #1 seed, and Georgia Tech has a #6.
And you know, you look at, you say, well, how can Duke, Carolina, NC State be looking at a 4? You know, you think the teams that are just so competitive within this league, and who knows, we could have a couple of #1 seeds by the time the season's over. That's the possibility in this league.
USC and UCLA, 2 of the top 4, now playing in the Big Ten. Carlin ran into trouble. Nice job by Tonie Morgan, and their steps taken by Miles before the move. So Georgia Tech has a chance.
Wow, Pam, look at the difference in offensive rebounds and how many more possessions, how many more shots that's going to give your team. You know, Notre Dame, actually only 3 more field goals at this point. It feels like they had a lot of ownership over the shots in this game.
Morgan, good look at the 3, and it went in right before the buzzer, and she had Prosper right up in her grill.
She sure did. Prosper maybe even got her fingertips on that ball. And you expect them to bring the points every single night. Notre Dame with the poison, as Coach Ivey likes to say, pick it. Lots of different scores for this squad.
They've led by as many as 9 in the first quarter. Now up by 4. Pam Ward joining you from South Bend, and Prosper stepped on the sideline. Another turnover for Notre Dame. That is their 5th of the game. Notre Dame has scored 0 points off of Georgia Tech's turnovers. Only 2, though, but Georgia Tech known for taking care of the ball.
Yeah, Tech getting back to being able to execute a bit. As we said, this is an offense that they've not run sets up to this point this year. So a lot of that's just creating on what the defense gives them.
Neither team shooting well in that first quarter. Both in the 30s. Westbeld, who got her first start of the year tonight, she is scoring. Maddy now has 9. How about Tonie Morgan with 11 of Georgia Tech's 16?
Yeah, she's been the one constant for this team, taking big shots when they need him. And that's what you lose with Dandy Carnegie being out of the game. She's somebody that, even as a freshman, 15 points a game, directing this offense. You see the great look ahead, a dish from Miles to Citron. That one's going in.
Just rolled in. Miles with the big smile, as she should, with that assist. She has Dandy Carnegie out for the 2nd straight game. Leads in most offensive categories of all ACC freshmen, including scoring. Bustamante just into the game with the miss. Chased down nicely by Citron. She found a little bit of a seam, took it and finished with her offhand.
There they are. They must have been looking at the same stat sheet we were throughout the timeout. Said, let me get my numbers up. Hit a couple of tough shots here. This is where they are the most dangerous. Up ahead, Miles. And Citron cutting right ahead for the finish. And then once again, look at the way she even is able to create space for herself. It's the little things, Pam. She's so highly skilled. And it's in a subtle way, but it really shows up when you start to look at the immense skill set that she has all throughout her numbers.
She is an amazing free throw shooter. She is now 32 of 34 on the season. That's 94%.
It's amazing.
One of the best in the country. And just like that, Notre Dame has scored the first 7 points of this quarter. Dunn has it cupped out. Another rebound for King. Her 6th. Coming off a double-double. And the win against Clemson. And here come the Irish. They're owning this 2nd quarter.
It's been a quarter that's felt very flowy. The assists are working. I think Prosper's been doing a great job of facilitating for post, creating shots. And Citron is starting to get very comfortable stepping into that shot. It looks nice and smooth.
Citron now with 9 points. Laredo got it taken away by King. An outstanding defensive player and rebounder. Olivia Miles on the floor right now for Notre Dame.
And you see King try to get it inside the Koval, get her teammates involved once again, but finally the 3 ball falling here. And it seems like every time Georgia Tech is feeling that desperation for a big shot, somebody steps up.
Time it was Chit Chat, given that name by AAU teammates because she was so quiet. An ironic nickname.
By the end of her career, she'll be the most vocal leader you've ever known. She'll earn the nickname.
Chit Chat just stopped and snapped a 9-0 Notre Dame scoring run. They try to go inside to Caval, and they're going to get Blackshear for a push in the back.
Georgia Tech, a confident team. This team does not get rattled, especially the freshman right there out of Atlanta. A high IQ basketball player, and when Nell Fortner told us that she gave the news to Chit Chat that she was going to start tonight, she said, yeah, she's pretty unfazed about it.
And at the time, this Westbeld scores. At the time, the matchup was going to be Chit Chat guarding Hidalgo. How about that for your first collegiate start?
Right? Definitely welcome to guard you. Here you are about to take on one of the best, if not the best guard in the country. So we were certainly looking for that opportunity to match up, but I wish Hannah the best, getting back from her ankle, and Carnegie from her lower body injury.
Prosper just picked up her second foul. Saturday's ACC men's basketball triple header starts off with Virginia Tech taking on Wake at 2 Eastern. Then the Irish go to Syracuse. Cal is in NC State to finish things up. All coming up Saturday on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Nell Ivy not happy with the way her offense was flowing, but Miles now back into the ball game. It's tough when both Miles and Hidalgo are on the floor.
Yeah, you need that facilitator and the point guard and someone like Miles to really steer the ship. And so to me, it feels like the last couple of possessions trying to force that ball inside as Hidalgo looking on and listening from the bench. And great advice from Sherelle Allen, one of the former great guards here. You know, but you have to, you can't force plays inside. You can't force to get everyone involved. And I felt like those two plays, those passes down to Kate Caval were forced.
Miles guarding right, the true freshman. And then the nice move off glass for Zoe Smith. Grad transfer from Georgia.
Big time player who could come through with a 14th spot for Georgia Tech. Ball headed the other way off Notre Dame foul.
Good shot looked over to Coach Fortner while she was bringing the ball up.
Excuse me, just a turnover from Citron, not a foul.
Dunn with a little bit of room on King, decided to drive to the basket, but that's where Caval was waiting for her. And a foul on the follow attempt by Termes.
This is a play right here why Nell Ivy called this team dynamic. Because for a second, everybody was still, there wasn't a lot of movement or passing in the offense. And then all of a sudden, Dunn just explodes to the basket. And you got to deal with her. Help side's got to come. So within no sets, it's almost difficult to prepare for a team like this because they create on the fly.
Termes at the free throw line, a 6'6" sophomore from Spain. Stayed the summer in Atlanta and really worked on her game, and the numbers have borne that out.
I love to hear stories about how players stayed dedicated, really focused on their fitness in the offseason, and then the numbers speak for themselves once the season starts.
And it's funny what hard work can do. King with the miss, but Maddy Westbeld got the rebound. Goodness, and then King came flying through at the end of the play. Georgia Tech foul. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. Tonie Morgan just picked up her second personal foul. So Prosper comes back in for Caval. Augusta coming in for Georgia Tech.
Yeah, it's tough because now Morgan's got to check out with those two fouls. You don't want to get that third. She's been a source of scoring for your team, but you don't want to put her in a tough spot and be vulnerable with 3 fouls.
Yeah, averaging 13 points per game, second only to Dunn as Westbeld gets it in. Dunn and Carnegie averaging higher points per game than Morgan now on the bench. And Maddy Westbeld with 13 points in her first start of the season.
She's definitely a player who meets the moment, and has great lineage in her family as well. Catherine having played here. And as a player who's just going to give you everything she has.
Very there. Turnover for Georgia Tech. Maddy Westbeld, welcome back to the starting lineup.
Exactly. Welcome back in, and you see the way she moves. Great screens, great read, the hands, the contact, the finish. No problem for Westbeld.
Olivia Miles has not scored yet. Notre Dame 6 for 7 so far in the second quarter. All 6 of those field goals by Westbeld and Citron, who have not missed a shot in this quarter.
They found their rhythm in the passing and in the timing and pacing. You see Olivia Miles take a big deep breath. I have a feeling over these next 4 minutes and 44 seconds, Olivia Miles might see 6 to 8 point spurt here.
If you're just joining us, Hannah Hidalgo out with the sprained ankle for the second straight game as a precaution. Notre Dame throws the ball away. Coach Ivey telling us that right before the game that she just learned earlier today that Hannah was not going to be available. Thought she would be, but they want to keep her out. There's a travel. The ball right back to the Irish. Notre Dame has SMU coming in on Sunday evening. That game will be on the ACC network as well. See if Hannah can play or will play in that one. Here's Miles, who's scoreless, no more.
Had a feeling.
Yep.
Right, the baller knows. And she had that look in her eye to just say, all right, I think it's time for me to get involved in this game. Offensively, she starts off and can get anybody involved. And I love the fact that she can now score at will, and her threes shooting over 40% this season. That's great.
Averaging 16.5 points per game. Hidalgo at 26 points per game. Count it for Zoe Smith.
Take another look at this one. Georgia Tech, the feed, the handoff, and Westbeld a little late. The help side from King, also late. And you see Westbeld, the communication was there, and then see King just getting caught underneath the baskets, and that contact comes. And for Georgia Tech, said every time they've been desperate for a score, they've been able to get it. But Pam, what we noticed in the commercial was a disparity in rebounds. Georgia Tech has got to do a better job of hitting the board. Notre Dame's over double what they have.
It's 26 boards for Notre Dame, just 10 for Georgia Tech, and that's a team that's among the leaders in rebounding margin in the entire nation. That third in the nation. Goes back over to Tech. True freshman Chit-Chat Wright. Getting her first start of her career, running the point. There's the ball now. Behind the back. Okay. How about that?
She said, let me get my best Hannah Hidalgo impersonation right in front of the Notre Dame bench.
And Smith turns around, misses. Citron with the board. Notre Dame just great pace. King took steps before she made the move. That's a 10th turnover on the Irish. We've seen quite a few traveling calls as they're trying to get started.
And give a little credit also to Kara Dunn defensively for stepping up and kind of creating a bit of that pressure to get the Notre Dame players flustered. You know, she helped create that turnover.
Drive to the basket. How about that? Tiana Thompson just getting into the game, a true freshman, one of the 5 Georgians on this club.
Let's go freshmen, put him in the game, in the spotlight. Nell Fortner just loves it. She believes in her players, she loves them to death. They love her back, so they want to get in and play hard for her. And they're not afraid of the moment.
Knocked away from Prosper. Right, found Smith, great look, but Smith couldn't finish. However, Dunn chases down the rebound.
Another extra effort play from Dunn. And those points, again, point blank layups, you've got to hit them in this game. They're critical.
Citron finding Carlin. From the outside, and you could tell that Dunn, as she posed, felt that one was going in from the beginning, and it did. We've only got a 5-point game.
Nell Fortner said, hey, we can let one fly in under 8 seconds. We're going to do it. Now 5 points separate you and Notre Dame.
but it's an 8-0 run.
Yeah, they have found their rhythm here and being able to go cross court, get some fast break opportunities. They want these transition type of buckets in that pace. Nell Fortner telling us that she was 70 to 80 field goal attempts in this game alone.
Closest they have been since early in the first quarter. It's a good person to go to out of the timeout. And Citron, she's had a heck of a quarter.
How about the control of the basketball to go from dribble to underhand layup with one hand?
King now away from the ball with the defense, and there's another true freshman.
It's really you see her confidence shine. And I love sometimes freshmen, they don't even understand that they're supposed to be a little stuttered in the spotlight, right? They come in and they're just like, all right, I'm gonna play as hard as I can.
That was chit-chat with the basket as Prosper got fouled. Trying to score for the Irish. Foul on Dunn, just the first for her. And that sends Prosper to the free throw line. From Montreal, both of her parents were basketball players at Concordia University in that great city. Nothing but net, you know, they're right here.
They are.
So exciting. Right after our women's basketball doubleheader, after Cal and Duke, our crew will be right here to break down the entirety of the night and also take a look ahead. We got you covered on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Ivory Latta in the building and Muppet with the fluorescent scarf.
Of course. I think we saw an appearance outside of the stadium of a bright scarf from Muppet
on her
McGraw's statue.
Justin and Kelly Gramlich. Justin Muppet and Kelly Gramlich rounding out the crew. And we'll hear from them at halftime as well.
Let's see what Georgia Tech here, if they can utilize this minute, get a couple shots here. Dunn with a great cut. Good recognition. Reading the defense.
You got to give them a lot of credit. Down 13 in this very hostile environment. Notre Dame without Hidalgo for the second straight game. They scuffled a little bit in their last game against Clemson. And a bit of a struggle tonight. Prosper was able to rip it away, but oh my goodness, Tech is relentless. Everybody wants to travel, but instead it's a held ball, and the arrow gives it back to the Irish.
Well, you feel the intensity of this game, right? I mean, it's get on the ball, on the floor for loose balls, and Prosper as a player gives you that extra effort and that energy for those loose balls. I love watching her contribute. You know, she's not somebody that's going to need 10, 15 points a game, but she will make an impact.
Miles deliberately against Wright, the freshman, who's listed at 5'4". Might be generous. Love little players who can go. Koval rescued it, got quickly double teamed. Great defense by the Yellow Jackets, and now Morego on the breakout. The Jackets just down 3. Citron trying to extend it, but an offensive foul called. Wipe out the basket.
Take another look at it. Could be a moving screen. We'll see. There's Koval. Well, officials felt like her feet weren't set, and she did keep them hopping.
They did call it on Koval, who is scoreless. Miles only with 2 points. And give a lot of credit to Georgia Tech. They were down, as I mentioned, by... Georgia Tech has only beaten Notre Dame once in history, and we have ourselves a tied ball game, courtesy of Dunn.
She's had 5 games with 3 or more threes. You could add tonight, possibly is another one, but her range has been one of the difference makers for that. So has Citron.
She's just so cool, everything about her.
Right?
And she calmly puts Notre Dame back on top. They had led the entire game until Dunn tied it with that 3. Citron also shot very well out of great second quarter. She's now 6 for 8 from the floor. Shot clock into single digits for one of the few times tonight. Tonie Morgan.
We saw her in the first half be able to get into the paint, Pam, and body up and finish strong. You see her strength at work as Miles tries to take Wright to the rack. There's Tonie Morgan off the bounce. And Citron, a terrific defender, but the up and under move, too good. Need more of that if you're Nell Fortner at Georgia Tech. You want to see, hey, any great shot. She told us if we can let one fly under 8 seconds, we're going to do it.
Chichat Wright was called for her first foul, and that sends Olivia Miles to the line. Miles having an off night so far, just 2 points, 1 of 6 from the floor in the first half. She did have 3 assists. Holy smoke, she missed them both. She's a 79% free throw shooter on the season. Miles with 3 triple-doubles this year, has 6 in her career. The only player in the nation averaging 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists.
That's silky smooth, too, even though it didn't go in. You see Westbeld so comfortable, and the star of the night, Sonia Citron, cleaning it up.
That was the first miss for Westbeld in this game. And as you mentioned, Citron was able to go in there and save the possession.
And we had one official looked like they were about to call a foul, and another with a travel. And they're meeting here.
And the foul wins. Jules Gallion, John Capolino, and Kelsey Reynolds. Our officials this evening in South Bend. Termis goes out. Blackshear comes in as Nell Fortner has a conversation with one of her 2 Spanish players on the team. Westbeld just picked up her 2nd foul. Georgia Tech energized, trying to pull off the upset against the number 3 team. Morgan kept it short. Offensive board. Couldn't hold on to it this time as the ball goes over to Notre Dame. Notre Dame has owned the glass in this game. They are now plus 16 in rebounding. Georgia Tech's only been rebounded twice this year. Once in a win against Mississippi State, the other time in their last game, a loss to Louisville.
Well, where the Irish are leaving some points on the table, they have 10 offensive boards. How about that move from Miles? A little hezzy, the underhand finish with the jelly roll. Now, the Irish have 10 offensive rebounds, but only 8 second chance points to show for that, Pam.
Wright thought about it. Instead got it over to Morgan. Cross-court pass. Free ball missed by Dunn.
It looked like a little zone defense possession for the Irish. I want to mix it up and try to force Georgia Tech to beat you from the outside so you can take away some of that paint action.
Miles, a lot of contact, nothing called. Ball goes all the way in the backcourt. Westbeld's just going to let it go. Georgia Tech basketball. A lot of havoc on that side of the floor.
Olivia Miles so patient with her moves, and her vision works just as well off the drive. The low crossover and then the speed. She understands it doesn't have to be 100 miles an hour all the time. Sometimes you need 55 and sometimes you need 95. She knows how to hit them at the right spots.
Another conversation with the officials. The 6 triple-doubles by Miles, by the way, a ACC record tying 6 triple-doubles.
I don't think you can state it enough how big it was for her to be out almost 2 years and then go triple-double in her very first game back.
And then back-to-back.
Back-to-back, that's right.
Which no one has ever done in ACC basketball. More on her shoulders again tonight with Hidalgo out. Citron, a rare miss, and a foul on the box-out attempt by Smith.
Yeah, it looked like Zoe Smith tried to get a body on Leah Tsukane, which is not easy to do, but kind of pushed her out of bounds.
King averaging a double-double herself, including 11.5 rebounds per game. Looked like it was off Tech, but they're saying Notre Dame basketball. Hannah Hidalgo pleading the case down there from the bench. They say it's off King. Camera operator got the ball right back to the official. Nice job.
Great hands. Look, you handle the camera, you can handle the basketball. Many talents in this
task. Notre Dame up 4. Dunn looking for her shot a lot more, it looks like, this year.
I love the way that she got that ball and just curled. Felt the defender behind her, so that's what you do. Continue on to the rim.
Citron, wide open, Prosper for 12. Got it. She speaks French.
She understands that very well. So did these fans. It was amazing for Citron to give up what looked like a pretty easy bunny for her. Instead, go for the high-risk play, the three. She trusts her teammates enough. Notre Dame with his zone defense in this possession, messing with Blackshear and Georgia Tech.
Prosper with her second three of the night.
Come back, take another look at this one. It's good team defense here. Quick hands, Citron, one of the better defenders that you probably don't hear enough about. Neil Ivey talking about how she's one of our go-tos. She guarded Paige Becker. She guarded Juju Watkins.
Those, I would say, are difficult assignments.
I'd say.
And she did a good job on both of those players. Notre Dame has beaten UConn 3 straight times. Prosper hit the three and then came back and drove for 2.
I just love her game. I think she's just such a great contributor, big energy. Again, not looking for her shot, but she's ready to shoot it. You're going to get her the basketball.
Extends the lead out to 7 after Tech had tied it earlier in the quarter. And the crowd now is getting more involved. Shot clock winding down. Dunn with the miss. King with another board. Citron doesn't have numbers. Waited for some help.
Good decision. Didn't try to force the shot. I feel like that's what Notre Dame has settled into in this third quarter, Pam. They're not trying to force it anymore.
Well, Miles somehow was able to tightrope the baseline and hold on to the ball, but Citron lost it. Morgan, full speed ahead, stop, drop. No, King with the board. King's going to have another double rebounding night. How about the Irish? Carlin got finished, or got fouled, could not finish.
Citron with the handles in the open floor. Watch this little behind the back move. A little dish, almost an and one. Her decision-making in tight spaces. I mean, that's where Hannah Hidalgo, Olivia Miles, playing with them every single day. You're going to naturally become a better passer. You can't help it.
Second foul on Zoe Smith. Liza Carlin, grad transfer from Marquette, hurt her foot in an exhibition game, so she missed a few games. Her first one was against UConn that we just referenced on December 12th. Into the starting lineup, missed them both. She had been 2 for 2 from the line this season, now 2 for 4.
Look how tightly Notre Dame's playing that zone. Oh, yeah, they were able to get behind it anyways.
Termes is an amazing passer at 6'6", the only non-guard in the ACC in the top 15 in assist-to-turnover ratio.
And they found that short corner, one of the only open spots against the zone. Dunn stepped in and made light work of it.
And Termes second on this team in assists per game. King leaned back. Morgan 2 on 3. She's got Dunn to her right, but gives it up to Chichat. Morgan puts it on the deck. Citron came over to help. Shot clock at 5 for Morgan. Takes it up, shifted it from her left hand to her more dominant right and couldn't hit it.
I mean, you got the best play and the best shot you could make out of that situation. That's another tough, close basket that hasn't fallen for Georgia Tech. That's at least a second or third.
Head coach for Notre Dame, and everybody's buzzing in town about it. That will be Monday night. Oh, Olivia Miles. Asterisk for that one. Liza Carlin with the finish.
Last few minutes here in the third quarter, it can be separation time for Notre Dame, a team that can get hot quickly. You see they're going to stick to that zone defense. Can Georgia Tech find those pockets again, middle of the floor, right by the ACC logo, or in the short corner by the baseline?
Open look for Dunn. Wow, went up, out, and in.
She's gotten a home roll tonight. Add another game where she's had 3 or more threes. We talked about how difficult her range can be.
Miles starting to take over now after a quiet start. And an offensive foul called on Blackshear.
How quickly things can open up. Miles, hesitation, there's the blow by speed I'm talking about. You finish it off at the vision. And then on the other end, again, utilizing the speed, the underhand, one scoop. So many different weapons offensively, Pam. She's incredible to watch.
Miles just 1 for 6 in the first half. She is 3 for 4 here in the second half from the floor. Notre Dame is the best three-point shooting team percentage-wise in the country, as Sonia Citron has a magical drive to the basket and the typical Sonia Citron reaction.
I mean, this is like a sports car. High performance coming through here. Cutting angles, staying in balance, and the quick finish, and then almost got the steal right afterwards.
Does so many things so well on both ends of the floor. Great size, too, at 6'1". I think she's going to be a really good pro.
She's going to have a 15-year pro career. She's going to be in the league for a long time.
So Smith with the missed. Tech has gone cold while Notre Dame has hit its last 3 shots from the floor. Citron. Georgia Tech gets a rare rebound. They are being out-rebounded by 20 in this game, yet they're still in it.
That shot for Morgan was next level difficult. Off the drive, she took contact and literally turned her body toward the bench and hit that shot sideways.
Pardon me, Tonie Morgan now with 15. She and Dunn have combined for 32 of their 50 points. Here's a Notre Dame turnover. Let's go back to Tonie Morgan.
Yeah, Ivy Latta told me today when I walked in the gym, she said, look at number 5, look at Morgan. That's a WNBA body at the college level out there, able to take it and make it. Just love the way that she attacks, and she's a player too. Like, you just see how hungry she is. Doesn't get affected by negative plays, always ready to go for the next shot, feeling like it's gonna go in.
Second team all-conference last year. Morgan, who has the ball now, but guarded by Citron with that length.
Tech's got to try to hit Dunn, number 25, in the middle of the screen there.
Right off the back of the rim. Citron, one of several players who could bring the ball up for the Irish. Westbeld, but wide open for 3. That's a mistake. Maddy makes him pay. Just talked how they weren't hitting a lot of threes in this game. Westbeld changed that. She's got 16 on the night. You see the third quarter rebounds. That's been the trend. Westbeld getting her first start again, just her 4th game back. Coming back from a foot injury.
She's 6 for 7. And 9 from Westbeld.
Practically perfect.
I love the way that Citron set that play up because of her dribble action. She draws so much attention from defenders. Oh, that was pretty. So smooth with it, right? I mean, it is just, everything is controlled, efficient, right where it needs to be.
And she's so quick.
Yes.
Just like that, she's by you.
We talked about separation time. This was it.
Citron gets the steal. Now Miles going to set it up. No shot clock. Westbeld sets the screen. That draws the double for Miles. Maddy for 3. Wide left at the buzzer, but a very good third quarter for Notre Dame. They outscored Georgia.
Those last 3 minutes and really 30 seconds, we saw Notre Dame really change and hone in on their zone and seem to be giving Georgia Tech problems. Their offense slowing down, but Dunn trying to extend the range one more time. I thought she's going to get another friendly home roll there.
Already got one. But yeah, you're right about that. Good point. The zone sort of has switched things up. Citron continues to be aggressive, and the best free throw shooter in the history of Notre Dame is now going to go back to the line.
I also feel like throughout her career, she's gotten faster. Her first step, her explosiveness. You saw how low she got quick on that drive.
So Citron, fouled by Nuredo, goes back to the line. Automatic ACC PM with Mark Packer comes your way every weekday at 4 Eastern right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Kelly Gramlich, who is here with our Nothing But Net crew, was on with Pat earlier today. Thrilled to have the Nothing But Net crew here. They're going to be here all night, do their show live after Cal Duke, which is after us.
I mean, that's big time. Having them in the building here has been great. To have that synergy pregame right into here, and then just to have that perspective at shoot-around. I mean, sit next to Ivory Ladder, sit next to Muffet McGraw and Kelly. It's like, wow, we got the goats in the building now.
Muffet knows a thing or two about basketball. Leah Two King gets it back to Miles. Westbeld, nice curl into the lane. Boy, she has looked great tonight.
If you're Georgia Tech, what you want to do is move up a little more off the lane and try to cut off that direct route and that curl to the basket. You see Notre Dame players are able to drive and that fill-in from the post, especially Westbeld, who's so good. Going to get you those points. Notre Dame up big, 15.
In South Bend, and the Irish have owned the last few minutes. This game at one point was tied up at 41 apiece with 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Since then, Notre Dame played zone, and it's been a 24-9 run.
And they've also started to force a couple more turnovers from Georgia Tech, or just difficult shots. But really, yeah, it's been that zone defense. It has slowed down what Georgia Tech wants to do with the basketball, which is get inside that paint. You see Dunn trying to catch it at mid-post, but Citron been right there, causing more havoc.
A tie-up, and the possession arrow points in favor of Notre Dame. Blackshear goes out. Termes, the 6'6" sophomore, comes in. Notre Dame shooting 53% from the floor. Georgia Tech now down to 38%. King with the fadeaway over Termes. Just rims out, and then Dunn got smushed by Citron, who picks up her second foul of the night. Nell Ivy, who is such an elite guard for Muffet McGraw, won the national championship back in 2001 in her hometown of St. Louis. And boy, what a successor she has been.
Yeah, it's amazing you shared with me before the game that you actually were calling a lot of her games as a player. So
yeah, in the playoff run, I was there that year. It was magical.
Special.
Chit Chat has been quiet, basketball-wise.
I see where you're going with that.
Yeah.
Very well done, Pam.
Yeah, she's been living up to that nickname a little bit. There's Muffet, Hall of Famer. And Nell Ivy, the exception usually, right, is you don't want to follow the legend. You want to be the person who follows the legend.
Right.
Miles with the three. But with Nell Ivy, she just picked it up right where Muffet left off.
Right, I mean, you think about how long she's been here. It's her 5th year coaching. You mentioned it, 100 wins. She's at 103 right now. 17th overall season and 22nd year at Notre Dame. So if anybody understands the culture of what success looks like here, it's Nell Ivy.
Won a championship as a player and also as an assistant coach. Morgan, great hustle. Oh, then lost it, but fortunately Chit Chat was there to pick her up.
Sometimes a little broken play will work well for you. Georgia Tech is desperate for some pace. They finally get a play where they can do it. It'll be tough to try to make a comeback here, especially with Notre Dame hitting from everywhere, finding the three finally. This was a game where they didn't shoot a whole lot of three-point shots early on, Pam, but they're making up for it now.
Yeah, here come the threes from, again, the team with the best three-point shooting percentage of the country. Wright misses from outside. Westbeld hunts it down, but Kara Dunn was able to intercept the pass and then got fouled. Coming up next, another good one. Stay right here on the ACC Network. We'll go to Cameron Indoor Stadium, where number 16 Duke hosts number 18 Cal. this is going to be big for both of their resumes.
Yeah, I mean, you just understand what you're coming into when you play Duke as intense defense, but Cal, one of the best scoring teams, three-point shooting teams, Suarez from behind the line. They bring a lot of pizzazz in the show into Duke, so I can't wait to catch that matchup.
King with her second foul, Dunn at the line, and good use of pizzazz. Pizzazz coming up next at the top of the hour, buddy. 2 for 2 from the line for Dunn. Notre Dame comfortably in front now.
Tech going to show some zone.
Westbeld. 20 for Maddy. That is by far her season high. Previous was 14 against Wake Forest. Again, Westbeld getting the start with Hidalgo out. Augustinaite, the sophomore from Lithuania, dials up a 3.
She's been a bit quiet in this game where in the last 3 games she's hit a couple threes. They really could have used her distance tonight. She hasn't really been the factor.
Terrific look to Westbeld with a rare miss tonight as she tried to reverse. Yeah, Augustinaite had 7 threes in a win against Rice earlier this year, career high. Morgan working on Citron. That's a tough go. But Dunn. Dunn really coming up big tonight. She's got 21.
And you see where Georgia Tech is having to create a lot of one-on-one opportunities to get that offense going. So you can see why it's slowed down. Meanwhile, Notre Dame, 20 assists on the night. They're doing what they do, 20 assists on 30 field goals made. That's always a sign of good ball movement, unselfish play. And like Nell says, you've got to pick your poison on this team. Best player probably in the country sitting out tonight, you still get 20 assists.
Notre Dame leading all ACC teams in assists per game. Augustinaite, who hit one from the left side, missed from the right. Inside 5 minutes to go now. Citron dribbling around. Prosper again. Short on the 3. Good defense there, Citron. Well, they give it away, just sloppy.
Yeah, one of the things about Notre Dame's offense tonight, their turnovers not been where they would like them to be as Rusna hits another 3-point shot. So, okay, 11 points is definitely within reach if you're Georgia Tech, and if you're Nell Ivey, you're calling this timeout to say, hey, not only are we fighting an 8-0 run from Georgia Tech, we have got to clean up these turnovers. 20 for Notre Dame so far.
All the time.
Yes, our hearts go out to everybody out west and coming together. You're starting to hear some great stories of the community bonding together and getting people the resources they need. Please donate if you can.
Let's go, Callie. Hang in there. Miles, little hesitation. Dunn with good defense, but she scored anyway.
Yep, and you can see the Notre Dame players came out, huddled, kind of all looked at each other and shook their heads as if to say, all right, we got to close this game out. Miles with that speed again, right? Just the look behind gives teams enough hesitation to think about the pass. And a little flex on him, let him know, yeah, I can score on you too. Now, one of her most dangerous moves is that drive and then the wraparound pass behind you. So it's what Nell Fortner was talking about, the vision that she has from everywhere. And that time definitely needed her to take the shot.
Miles has eyes all over her head, is the quote from Nell earlier today. Not just in the back of her head, like the saying goes, but all over. And what a second half. Olivia only had 2 points at the break, and now she's up to 11. Augustinaite, just a little bit too long. Citron with the board. Her 5th of the night to go along with 21. Westbeld has 20.
Wow. You're good. If you're Georgia Tech, you like that shot from Augustinaite. She caught it in rhythm. do what she does best as well, which is finish in traffic. She's somebody you always got to watch out for.
Just her second basket of the night, but she does have 12 rebounds.
Ooh. Westbeld with a rejection.
And Maddy's playing with 3 fouls. Nell Fortner gets her 2 cents in. Citron knocked it away momentarily.
Georgia Tech has to be so purposeful with their possessions right now, Pam. They do not have the time to let the defense give them a shot. They got to go ahead and take it just like that. Tonie Morgan getting it done.
Morgan going inside. She's got 17 now. Notre Dame can take the air out of the ball a little bit, up by 13. Doubled, and they're going to get her for a travel as she tried to free herself from the double team.
And seeing Nell Ivy just kind of encouraging her team, hey, keep moving without the basketball, right? Recycle and call out for the basketball. You got to be vocal.
Busanaite nails the 2 that time.
It's a tough fadeaway shot and a good quick score for Georgia Tech. I'd say, yeah, you got to move the defense up. You got to start pressuring, try to create some more turnovers. As we've seen tonight, this is a game where you can take advantage of that. Notre Dame has shown vulnerability in turning the ball over.
There are 21 turnovers, 1 fewer than their season high. They almost matched that, but King bailed them out. They with a couple of quick buckets. Coming off a big double-double game against Clemson. She had 11 of her 23 points in the 4th quarter in that win. Morgan working on Citron. Busanaite wants it. Firing away here in the 4th. Minute and a half to go. Miles saw a little bit of daylight and took it.
You think about this game, not Notre Dame's best game. They don't have their best player out here on the floor against the Georgia Tech team. It's hard to believe this Georgia Tech team is about to lose 3 games in a row. Just watching them play tonight, you can see why they've been so good in ACC play. They're just even in general coming into tonight.
Started on that 15-game winning streak, but consecutive losses, double overtime heartbreaker to Virginia Tech at home, lost at Louisville on Sunday, and this will be their 3rd in a row. They do go home to play Clemson next. King with the miss, then they go to UVA. Notre Dame will welcome in SMU on Sunday.
I'll tell you what, SMU is a great rebounding team. They're going to be hard to keep off the boards. Jessica Peterson, one of the best rebounders in the country.
Notre Dame will go to 6-0 in the ACC, on top of the standings. They were picked to win it. But Georgia Tech, what a gritty comeback. They tied this game at 41, and Notre Dame took over from that. Notre Dame all-time now is 19-1 against Georgia Tech. They take it 81-66, 21